Hello everybody, Manithral here, and welcome to the weekly update video for OSRS. Now this week, we have the new client update, which is actually the Clue Scroll helper. So, feedback and response. There was one 1320 BST, July 27th. Some models have broken animations when moving. This issue cannot be hotfixed, meaning we will have to wait until next game update. So they want us to let them know if they find any NPCs with this issue. Currently they have seen the monkeys on Ape Atoll and wolves, so the status is to be cold fixed. So there is the new client feature, the Clue Scroll update. Essentially, probably everything in RuneLite is going to be eventually integrated into OSRS, so keep that in mind. So the Clue Scroll helper, it works basically just like the OSRS version. You see a couple diagrams here. It shows you that these will pop up in the top left corner of your screen, and then it'll actually show you the quest map, tile that you have to go for the Clue Scroll. So it does make it a lot easier. And when interacting with the Clue Scroll, the helper will appear on the left-hand side, so top left, and it'll give you instruction how to complete that step. So, for example, if your clue step is a music clue, the relevant track will be displayed on the music side panel, as well as displayed in the Clue Scroll helper. You can get directions from hint arrows on the world and on the mini-map by opening up the world map. During your Clue Scroll completion, the helper will also display what items you need for your current step, and will help out point out any information you may need, and if they're previously built stash units. So as you can see, here's another diagram from the map point of view of where you need to be. NPC Indicators only available on Steam. Oh, and I should say, the Clue Scroll helper is off by default, so if you do want it on, go and add it on there. Honestly, I'm soon at the point where I don't need RuneLite. And then we have the NPC Indicators only available on Steam. So this will highlight NPCs in different ways. So you can now highlight NPC click regions and their names. So this will give you an idea if you're going to be clicking on them or not. So this is so people have an easier understanding of what they are targeting. NPCs will also have a 2 shift right click options. So highlight this NPC. We'll keep this NPC specifically highlighted, and then highlight all NPCs of this type. Will highlight all similar NPCs in a nearby area. So left diagram shows that the one is highlighted, while the right diagram shows that there is multiple highlighted. Then we have the new client features. There's more, of course. So they have activity helpers. So the Blast Furnace helper, and this is part of the mobile client, new client launch and next big steps. So this is something they want to do anyway. It's just RuneLite gave a lot of inspiration. Blast Furnace helper, which allows you to enable the highlighter for objects you might interact with in the Blast Furnace. You can also keep tabs on key info, like the items currently in the melting pot and dispenser, or the amount of money in the coffer. Cannon HUD. Yeah, you can now see how long your dwarf multi-cannon has left before it breaks, and how many cannonballs you have. You can also enable notifications alerting you when you're low on or out of cannonballs. Herbivore helper. This helper highlights the herbivore footprints, interacting scenery, and the elusive herbivore itself. So I'm imagining that is this right here. Here's the Guthix timers. This shows you different colored timers for the blue and green veins, and reminds you which ones you should be aiming for to help maximize your XP gains. Further changes, they also made the following improvements. For those who haven't upgraded to the circulated water yet, the numbers of water skin uses have been added to the buff bar. They also made tooltips access the game display consistently when using the C++ client. You now have access, have an option to toggle icons on the minimap at the most zoom level so that you can see what's going on across a wider area. Agility course highlights are now cleared when the player dies or after 5 minutes of inactivity. And they also made some fixes to help make mobile experiences a little smoother. Improvements have been made to when opening or closing side panels, fix an issue with the entity overlays inside the chambers of Zarek, resolved various issues that caused the app to crash or become unresponsive, fix an issue allowing prayer to activate after clicking on an inventory item, and changing tab via hotkey. Audio now works correctly with certain slider setups. Fix an issue where the tiles highlighted incorrectly under certain circumstances. Reduce the visibility of grid lines. And there was some Missouri Armor feedback as well. We had a lot to say about it. So at a first glance, they said it doesn't look like ranged gear. The cloth makes it look like magic equipment. So some players thought the ancient Egyptian theme strayed too far from the traditional range equipment, which is usually made from hides. So it looked more like a costume than a best in slot armor. So it doesn't look strong enough to be best in slot, and the upgraded version changes the color from gold to silver, which seems like a downgrade. Traditionally, yes. So, in light of the feedback, they were presenting two new Missouri Armor concepts. So, you got the standard concept A, which is still kind of like it's a mix between like range, like I want to say ninja-esque and Egyptian theme. And then you have the more of like the occasional gold plating for the fortified. And then here is another one, which is actually, I think there's different aspects about both that are good and bad. But again, the standard looks kind of like ninja-esque, if you ask me, mixed with a Egyptian theme, which is kind of cool. And then you got a little bit more armor on the fortified version. So they want people to, of course, give some feedback on it, so you can look forward to the in-game poll that will run between today, July 27th, at approximately 1300 BST until Friday, July 29th at 1300 BST. So, other changes. When outside combat areas, PvP arena worlds, the trade option has been replaced with loadout option. Players can right-click another player and open a menu showing the selected player's 3 loadouts. From here, you can copy their loadout over to yours, replacing your current present. Rebalance the grouping algorithm in PvP Arena to help the less common ranks find matches. The Blast Furnace is now a safe zone on PvP worlds due to occasional incidences of luring around the bank chest. A couple of crates have been deleted from the middle floor of the Tower of Sidious as they were getting in the way in PvP combat in the area. On the Deadman world, the Ardoon task for casting Ice Barrage in Castle Wars has now been complete by entering the Castle War lobby with relevant quests and skill requirements satisfied. For Ultimate Iron players, any unclaimed Chambers of Zarek rewards may now be dropped outside of the chambers rather than being put in private storage, since Ultimate Iron Man can't use it. Some grammar has been corrected on the guards of the Ham Cave, and PvP Rhoda has moved to period B, which means 560 UK PvP World, 579 US High Risk PvP, 561 UK Free to Play PvP, 580 US LMS Competitive, and 390 AUS has been deactivated for this Rhoda. They will now be including the current PvP arena rotation within this section of the weekly game update news post. So the PvP Arena is now using the max/med loadouts in the ranked tournaments this week. Also, don't forget to check out the official merch store and see about the new different types of pins and keychains you can find there. Guaranteed to be something for somebody out there. And there was one more quick note on feedback. Old School is a game that they all love, and especially the players. And as a team, they appreciate the passion and the commitment to the game. So working closely with everybody is what makes Old School great. So they have a team of wonderfully talented and dedicated people. They want to do right by the game. And so please remember, when leaving your feedback, keep it constructive and give reasons why you don't like something, as opposed to one-word response. In terms of art specifically, the amazing people of the team have said they really appreciate feedback and extra detail references the images where applicable. This even goes for stuff like even my content. Whenever there's any kind of feedback, anything negative, it doesn't really help. And there is such a thing as constructive criticism, but there's also just being critical. So try to say, don't just say like, hey, this sucks, this is stupid, blah, 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 blah. Say, hey, I don't like this, and here's why. Give that kind of thing. It guarantee you will get a better response, and if it's something that can be changed or fixed or added, it'll be looked into a lot sooner. That's just how those things work. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.